the FCT area council will be having an election conducted not like the one you see across, but this one will be conducted by the national INEC. And this election will be coming up in just slightly about 3 weeks from now. But if you look around the FCT, it appears as though nothing so much is happening. Unlike what we used to see before, when all the political parties hit the street running, where we find FCTA issuing statement warning politicians against extreme pasting of posters on bridges, on certain sensitive national monuments. For this one, we are not seeing that campaign very much, with many persons talking about it. That why is the FCT going into an election, unlike before, the flame and the storm and the beauty and the glamour of campaign is not there. My name is Steve Haluata. This is Independent Television ITV Abuja Broadcast Network Center. The program is this morning on ITV. Now we're being joined by a public affairs analyst, a key stakeholder in the FCT political structure, and one who have been actively involved in grassroots politics in the FCT and have been following it very, can I say comrade or Mr.? Okay, Honorable Robert Madake. You say it's Honorable. Okay, thank you very much, but not right Honorable.
Yes.
Okay, now let's start with now. We have an election coming on board, and we're not seeing the flair, the glamour. By this time some years ago, Abuja is already going up in flames politically, and everyone is dancing. You could hear them, you could see it. What is happening?
Okay, so essentially the approach towards election campaign in Amak has evolved. So it's not much about billboards and posters all over the place, but it's more about the interest. So there is a lot of underground work going on within AMAC. There's a lot of stakeholder engagement going on.
But how is it doing like Gambia?
Yes, so yes.
You don't know what's happening.
Yes, so even now we are not sleeping, we are not resting.
But I mean, we on the street feels the vibe.
Yes, so what is happening is that there's going to be a very heavy push towards the end of the process of the campaign season. Towards the days leading to the election, we are going to see a lot of activity. So a lot of energy is being projected in that direction to ensure that where people come out and do the needful. There is a challenge generally with area council elections. It does not get as much publicity as the general elections. There's also a very serious voter apathy in FCT area council elections generally.
But let's now come to the political analyst, if you agree with me, Honorable, about the one-party democracy and its effect on your party, the YPP, is not suffering for now. You appear to have got your house in order.
Yes.
But the APC, where the PDP is almost in shreds, with the PDP candidate becoming the APC candidate. The LP is almost in shreds. The ADC, I know they are going in and out of court. What impact does this have on the area council election?
Okay, so generally, yes, there is the idea that there is the APC seems stable, but I can tell you for free that the only reason why the APC structure looks stable is because they are in power. So they are made by
are you saying it's boiling?
Yes, it's a
boiling on the ground.
There's going to be an implosion.
Okay.
Yes, because you have too many strange bedfellows in the system. So it's not. The reason many people are there is because it's the party in power.
If there are strange bedfellows and the pot from which they will eat is big enough, they can keep peaceful.
So that's the problem now. No matter how big the pot is, if you have too many greedy people, it's not going to be enough. So that is the problem. So and there's the analogy of when they say the eagles, where the carcass is,
where the vultures are gathered.
Vultures are gathered. Vultures are not desirable animals. So
are you comparing our ruling party to a gathering of political vultures?
There is always a tendency for
honorable, are you not too harsh?
No, there's always a tendency, historically speaking, for certain kinds of elements to be drawn to power. And also we try to get into the systems where there are the good books of those who are in power. And a lot of times, people in power tend to try to work with those kinds of people because they have certain advantages, but the disadvantages far outweigh the advantages. The disadvantage is that as a country we suffer having people like that around the corridors of power. The advantage is only accruable to the person in power. Now, one of the major things that we forget as a people is that all political power is transient. We cannot stay there.
We remember that.
No, we don't remember that, and I think that is a major challenge with us as a people in Nigeria, that we tend to forget. And there is a problem in Nigeria which we love our oppressors, we like people that oppress us, we celebrate them. There are a lot of things other places they will not take into Nigeria. We seem to enjoy taking those things as long as it doesn't affect us. And we look at Nigeria through the eye of tribalism, through the eye.
Okay, no, I'm coming. Let's not talk because we are looking for a seat.
Yes.
And the area council is coming, and I want you to dwell a little bit. You are contending with me, Kalangu.
Yes.
This is not a campaign forum, but how will you rate me, Kalangu?
I will rate you very poorly.
Okay. That means you are saying Christopher is a failure.
No, he has failed.
Explain why you think Christopher Kalangu failed.
So the issue about Christopher Kalangu is very simple and it's evident for us to see. The signs are all over the place. It's not a statement of being accusing somebody, it's a statement of fact.
Okay.
Yes, so if you go into the primary healthcare system, you go into the primary school systems, to look at sanitation, for example. A lot of people mistakenly or erroneously think that the FCT is responsible for sanitation
in the
area councils. But by law, it is the law is given to the area councils by law. And not just by law.
We are saying all the refuse dump we see in Karu, Nyanya, everywhere.
It is
the Kalangu is the one who did not evacuate them.
They did not evacuate. The area council showed me one truck for evacuating of
but there's an environment department in Amak.
The environment department in Amak is not.
We have a super environment super.
So that system is not adequately funded to the level of the revenue it gathers.
Okay.
So if you look at the revenue and then you look at the system of operation, it's very dormant. And only reactive, and you only see action when we have a time like this, like election period. There's can be able for ways to pack the refuse. The amount of money that has been spent by the Kalangu to upload and put billboards all over the city would clear. Yes, if you do well as an incumbent in Amak, your work will speak for you. The better administrators have come into Amak and have been the chairman of Amak. Better, but as we go and yet, as good as they were, their efforts were not good enough to get them a second.
As we go into the election now, Kalangu believes he is the best man.
So it's you cannot self-evaluate.
But he believes that Shakespeare said only you are the one who can know yourself better.
In public sphere, especially as a public office holder, you cannot be the one evaluating your performance. The evaluator of the performance is the people who voted you in, and they are the ones that can tell you whether you did well or not. So when you don't have a feedback mechanism.
Okay, what about all the commendation Wiki is giving him? When sometimes they dance together in front of
the Wiki has also accused him in public or even derided him in public.
But sometimes after that one, after 2-3 days, I don't know what happened, they come back again and dance and
it's political. It's political. So, and the essence is that regardless of whatever transpires, even as the minister of the FCT, he has his own responsibilities, statutory responsibility, as does the chairman of the local, of the area council. Now, those responsibilities are supposed to be guided by the constitutional provisions. Now, within that system, if you just take a look at it from that angle, you could give the FCT minister a pass mark, but you cannot give a pass mark. In fact, Mekalangu is an appalling that he is campaigning on the platform of the work that the FCT minister has done. So it's a minus actually to the FCT minister. How much better would AMAC have been if you had a vibrant chairman?
So you are saying that Mekalangu ought to have done his own groundbreaking?
Yes.
Would have done his own commissioning?
Yes.
But sometimes I think what his SSA, Kingsley Madaki, have said constantly was that some of his works are in area council, they are not seen, but the people are feeling it.
No, that is wrong. I don't expect Mr. Madaki, who happens to be my namesake, to
know him.
Yes.
You have met Mr. Kingsley, the SSA.
I'm not familiar with him, but
okay, he's a journalist.
Yes. So no, I don't expect him to say anything other than that, because of course it's his boss. I know that. But if we are going to be honest, truly, if we are really going to be honest, AMAC right now is a poster child for poor local government administration in Nigeria. Being that AMAC is at the center, being that AMAC is the landlord of the presidency, being that AMAC, the senators and every other person that sits in the National Assembly see AMAC, it could also be that if AMAC is meant to be the one that will show an example why we should have local government autonomy. If you look at AMAC as it is now, and we are in the position to make a decision on account of the current leadership in AMAC, we do give any grant autonomy to this kind of system.
Okay, what about the wiki factor in this election? The whole election we are going into now, many have raised the fact that Ezenwo ESN Wiki as a political what do you call it now? A political juggernaut or a political, somebody call it a political calculator. I don't know how you people describe. I share those names to yourselves when you get to your meeting.
Yes.
Some are saying the wicked factor will be very much. That's going to come out, bulldoze its way through and give Tinubu 6/6.
Okay, so
for the APC.
For the APC.
There is a PDP member.
Yes, so that's the challenge now, which first of all, each time I hear Wike's name comes in the mix.
But when you go to your meeting in YPP and other political parties, you know Wike resonate?
So in YPP, the name Wike doesn't resonate. For simple.
But when you meet with your other political party member, other members of other parties and their candidates, you all meet with the FCT INEC.
So essentially, we've had meetings in INEC and all that. Now Wike's name doesn't come up. Okay. Yes. So in fact,
when you meet at night, so when you meet at a night meeting, all of you like to hold meeting at night.
Wike's name mostly has come to me when I come to press forums. So it's been the journalists that have been raising this narrative.
So we don't discuss that name at all. The issue is at night.
So the issue is that Wike is not running for AMAC.
But the thing will determine 6/6.
In what way?
He promised to give 6/6 for the APC.
So in what way? How does 6/6 come in?
That means APC will win the 6 local government 6/6.
Okay. So now, if he's saying that, or if such statement is credited to him, is he going to go on the campaign trail into the Kalabu? Is he he's voting in AMAC? I don't know whether he's voting in AMAC or he's voting in the local government, whichever one. Is he coming in as a voter? Is he coming in as a party member?
What about as a powerful influencer?
So in what way? Is it to determine the results of the election or what? Because we need to understand that we need to interrogate those statements, because a number of people have had this said over and over, and to be honest with you, like I said earlier on, it's only in the press that this question has been put to me, in the sense that Wike influence, that is the first time in the history of AMAC that we're hearing that. So what does that mean?
You don't expect him to be like Bello, who gave free hands to everybody.
It's not only Bello.
And L5.
It's not only Bello.
Well, we get L5, but I know Bala Mohammed and others.
There's no statutory responsibility or role for the FCT minister in determining outcome of
a this particular one is not taking it as not lying low.
So that's the question. The question is that at the end of the day, the people who will determine the outcome of the election in AMAC are the people. It's still the people.
Are you sure?
Yes, it's still the people.
Are you very sure?
It's the responsibility of the people. No matter how powerful a political entity is, they know, even the individual knows that the people, if they decide the outcome, you can't change it.
But the moment he told Mekalangu to move to APC, he moved. The Kuje guy moved. The Buhari guy moved. Why is he telling all of them to move and they're moving?
So the question is that I've had conflicting reports about why they moved, and it's not that they moved because he told them.
But he told them on live television. But he said he told them to move. You watch that clip.
So the monthly chat. So the issue is that having a conversation around Wiki. His decision to tell people to move into the party
or to influence the election.
Influence the election is counterproductive for Nigerians in the sense that, number one, you cannot force the people of Amak to eat feces. And I'm not saying that in an insulting way. That's to say, right now, Amak is dirty. Do you blame Wike over time to be somebody who generally personifies excellence in his work? Apart from political, it's about personal life issues or all that. But so when it comes to work, so are we saying that Wike is validating failure?
I think that means you're saying that if Wike supports Mekalangu, which he is doing, he's reinforcing failure.
Yes, because you don't reward in life. You don't reward failure.
But I think we'll take a short break, a very short break. When we return from the short break, we'll take a very, very, very short break. When we come back from the short break, I'll be concluding my discourse with Honorable Robert Madaki, as we look at the FCT area council election. So much in the front burner after this break. Okay, thank you so much for staying with us. The program is still this morning on Independent Television ITV, broadcasting from our Abuja Network Center here in Mpape District of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. We are looking at the February area council election, and I've been discussing with Honorable Robert Madaki, a staunch politician and a public affairs analyst, and one who is a key stakeholder. And before the break, we're looking at the influence of FCT Minister Ezonwo Wike on it. I've been told that Comrade Amaka Adebayo will be joining us via Zoom once he's ready. Producer will bring him on board, but we just got about 6 minutes to take you straight to. Okay, if you're there, thank you. If you can hear me very quickly, Comrade Mark Adebayo, can we quickly? Comrade Adebayo is the convener of the New Direction for Nigerian Movement and national spokesperson, Coalition of United Political Parties. Now, Mr. Comrade Mark Adebayo, quickly, what are your take on this forthcoming area council election? What special thing are we expecting, particularly as publicity is at its record low level at this time?
Thank you so much. One will expect that both INEC and the contestants, the political parties that are participating in this election, will be out there engaging in massive political education of the residents of the FCT. I have not been seeing much of that. One will expect that, especially the people, those who are the candidates, that should be out there, mobilizing the people, talking to the people, and we don't seem to be seeing a kind of the activities, the kind of actions expected during elections. It does seem that there is a kind of it's either that both voter apathy and candidate apathy in this election, because it is supposed to be that they are out there, campaigning, talking to the people, meeting people, community by community. This is the grassroots election. We have the people involved. We have the people, the communities are relevant about that. And there is the people. If you don't mobilize the people well enough, you are likely to have a very low voter turnout.
is something there, and I think we need to be looking at that. You know, the issue of voter after now, we are talking about candidates after for the first time. I'll quickly come in. What should be done now to address all of these problems you have mentioned? Our time is almost up.
Well, the candidates have to up their games. They have to up their games, and nobody should take the resident of FCT for granted. And then, if anybody, because some of these things will happen because maybe some power somewhere have already written the result, they have already concluded, so they don't bother to contact the people. Our democracy needs to be improved. Our elections need to be improving, and INEC must be at the top of the game this particular election, because whether you like it or not, local government elections are the most important as far as community development are concerned. So INEC needs to do more, the candidates need to do more, the people are waiting to see who is coming to campaign and to ask and to see their votes. But we are not seeing that in the scale.
But time appears to be running out. Quickly, comrade Robert Madaki, can we get your final talk on this preparation for it? What would be a big move?
So yes, in AMAC,
are you pull a surprise?
We are going to pull a surprise.
How do you pull a surprise? With Wike running brimstone.
So with Wike running brimstone and whatever, we are not focused on Wike because I think that whole narrative or conversation is a distraction. And Mark Adebayo mentioned what they call it,
candidate apathy. What's your take on that word quickly? So candidate apathy, that is candidate already willing to even campaign.
I have a strong inclination to believe that there are a number of people that are running for running sake and popularity. Okay. But in AMAC, with YPP, other area councils, YPP is out to run to make a difference.
Okay, thank you very much, Comrade Robert Madaki, public affairs analyst. One that believes that we will pull a surprise in the election. We just hope that the forces that mix at night will allow you to pull that surprise, because politics appear to be more spiritual. Some say the more you look, the less you see. Thank you very much. Thank you. We wish you all the very best.